Hey there, and welcome to the Chasing the Rabbit podcast from First Baptist Church of the Islands in Savannah, Georgia. Be sure to follow this podcast. Turn on your notifications to get every episode right on time. Help us out by rating this podcast. Even better, share this podcast with someone that may enjoy it. I'm Brooks. I'll be your host for today. Let's chase some rabbits. All right, welcome to everybody who is feeling possibly now 2 days later the Super Bowl slowdown. Is there such a thing? Because it really wasn't on that super late.
No.
So this is our post-Super Bowl episode. But I think we do need to go around and just introduce ourselves. Should we start with Babyface?
We can do that.
I don't know.
If you'd like.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So here we go. Let's go ahead and do some introductions.
This is Babyface, Jason Gamble.
Yes, the stand-in.
All right. This is J.O. Jeremy Young, the children's pastor.
How's it going, guys? This is Eric, student pastor.
This is Adam, the worship pastor, and we can't leave you out.
Me, I already introduced myself like I do every single time.
You say I'm Brooks.
We had to get the slide,
but we don't
though.
know your last name. We don't know what you do.
Oh, okay. I'm Brooks, Cale, C-A-I-L. Social Security number is 2.
Don't get carried away.
So it starts with a 2.
I just kind of wander. I mean, I wander around here, around the property and stuff.
It's getting worse.
Wow, that's very
Wanders on
accurate.
stage on
Well,
Sundays.
I know it's getting a lot worse.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it
goes
that
on.
way. So I don't even get to see what you post. I don't know. You could put like pictures of, just cartoon characters up there for me for all I know. I don't ever get to see
And that's actually
the actual pictures,
it's you with all of your
at least on live.
stuff behind you.
Yeah, all the stuff. So as we mentioned, Jason is out. This is a fabrication stand-in for him. For those who maybe your phones are really super small, you couldn't tell. This is not Jason. And
Just an eyelash.
Sorry.
Thank you.
so he's unable to be with us today. I mean, he had another more important obligation and more important than us. But we'll be okay. We'll make it through. So as I mentioned, the Super Bowl was, for us as we record this just last night, as you're listening to this at the earliest a couple of days ago. So what were your takeaways? First of all, did you guys watch any of the game at all?
Yeah, we watched the whole game.
Yeah, we had it on. Watching football is different now.
Yeah.
Because you don't really sit. I thought about this last night. Nobody really sits, at least I don't, and just watch the game like you did back in the old days.
Yeah.
Where there's the camera there. You're just watching the game, and you're like watching, and you're leaning in, and you watch it. Now it's a lot of, you're watching, and you're kind
Yeah.
of doing this,
Multitasking.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we were in there like pretty much the whole game for the most part. Just back and forth from the kitchen and stuff a little bit during the first part. But
So if the Falcons were in, do you think you'd be more engaged?
yeah, but still, I mean, this is such a, there are certain down times where you realize, I'm
Commercial breaks.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of money in commercial breaks.
Yeah. What'd you think about the commercials, by the way, before we get to the game? I don't remember. None of them really stood out to me a whole
I can't think of one that just jumped out.
I like the State Farm Arnold ones. Those are pretty
That
good.
was pretty good. I saw that one.
State
Neighbor.
Farm. Good.
Neighbor.
Yeah.
These are Neighbor.
Those are pretty good. State
That
Farm
one was
won that
good.
one.
That was good.
Geico was pretty. I mean, they're doing this whole big overhaul now with the gecko, versus the caveman. Yeah, y'all have seen those.
Oh, I didn't see any of those last night.
Well, I think they were maybe pregame. The pregame stuff was pretty good. It was all hyped up, man. The pregame stuff was good. So, what did you think about the game itself? Pretty good game.
It was.
Overtime.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really
It
good.
was good back and forth. Like, you didn't want it to be a complete blowout because everybody's bored by the first quarter.
Yeah.
I watched at it up until halftime. I really didn't watch much of the game, just enough to realize that the coach for Kansas City looks like the diabetes guy.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
He looked just
Brimley?
like Wilford every time.
Brimley.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound
every
right.
time
Is it
they showed
Brimley?
him, I'm like, oh, it's the diabetes guy.
Wilford. Is that his name? Brimley?
Yes, it was Wilford Brimley. When you
Brimley.
said that, it struck. But I mean, I was at Katie and Michael Connor here at the church had all the college kids over to their house who were in town,
Yeah.
and so I took Ben, and they said, "Come in for a few minutes and watch a little bit of the game." And we got there late, and so it was. I guess we probably had less than an hour after it had started. So, so I stayed until halftime, but it was mainly talking and talking to everybody.
Did
you
you
know, the
feel
game
any-
was on,
Yeah.
but I don't know that we were watching the game.
Did you feel any pressure to try to blend in with the college, students like, "Hey, cool cats, what's
Not
going
when you
on?
have this much gray in your beard
That looks
and mustache.
fresh."
Yeah. I'm way too gray for that.
Silver
In fact,
sneaker
yesterday, I'm a silver sneaker. My mom was down this weekend, and so she was at service Sunday. And after church was over, we're standing there, and I forget who was standing right near us, but she just came over to me. I was talking to somebody else, and she came over and she said, "Adam, when Brooks was up there talking at the end and y'all were standing up there to sing," she said, "I was looking up and I'm like, oh, you look really old."
Thanks, Mom.
"Excuse me?" She said, "Like I really noticed how old you're looking. You look really old." And then she just walks off to talk to somebody else.
Wow.
And I'm like,
And the sad thing was Brooks was there for comparison.
I know. That's why it hurt worse.
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom. So, yeah. So I was too old was the point of that.
Yeah, that's what you took away from the message.
To be there with, no, that was after the message.
Okay.
That was my mom's message to me.
That's all you could think of was, I was just told I was.
My mom's message to me was, I'm old.
It's okay.
But no, I didn't watch much. I did hear the kids there talking about, they thought all the commercials were like, they were all about movies or shows that were coming out. There was too much of that. There wasn't like the good product commercials.
The very first one was some creepy movie that I have not heard of, and it didn't give me any desire to go see it. I was surprised because they probably spent a ton of money. And the trailer was not really.
Was the Robert Kennedy
Oh yeah, the political ad.
That was like so weird.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I think I missed that one too.
I saw that one. It was an old timey, kind of an old timey.
It was. Well, the funny thing was, it went up, and it kind of got quiet in the room where the college kids were. Everybody was kind of quiet, and one of them, I don't remember who it was. One of them said, "Isn't he dead?" And that's how they responded to that ad. I'm like, this doesn't sit well. He spent millions of dollars on this ad, and the kids in the room who will be voting
Yes,
said, "Isn't he dead?"
it was interesting. As an independent, voting isn't.
If he doesn't drop out, he more than likely will be dead before November.
Oh, that's not nice.
They'll kill him.
Oh, ooh, that's not nice.
How old is he? How old is Robert?
I have no idea.
So, what were your thoughts?
I'm writing in Brooks.
Did you guys? Did you
Angelo
guys,
Cal.
Did you guys watch the halftime
ABC
show?
for president. I refused.
You refused.
I was not. I left.
On what grounds?
Right when it went to halftime, I said, "All right, I'm out."
Usher or
I just had no
anti-halftime
desire.
show?
I have no desire to watch because it's usually trash. The halftime shows in the past decade have been trash.
Yeah.
And they
This was
are,
lower on the trash meter.
and they're not. They disrespect women. They are just usually vulgar.
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch that. So
It
I
was
just choose
lower
not
on
to.
the trash meter. It was not a
That's
zero.
good. That's good.
But it was lower than what's.
Back and watch any of it. I couldn't even tell you until staff meeting this morning who won, and really could have not cared.
Who won the halftime show?
No, who won the game?
Okay.
I did not want Kansas City to win just because I don't like the Swifties. Isn't that the name of that team, the Kansas City Swifties? I didn't want
Yeah,
them to win.
that's exactly
but,
who they are.
They won
Yeah, they won.
because of their big crybaby who hit his coach. But that's it.
Oh, so you did watch. You did.
No,
watch
I
some
saw
of the
that.
game.
I saw that when we were sitting up there.
Yeah, you did watch some of the game. Wow, that's good. So, what were y'all's
Kelsey
thoughts?
hit the diabetes guy.
So, what were y'all's thoughts on the halftime show?
I didn't see
Because
it.
you guys are all in.
What?
I mean, y'all are really into music. You didn't see the halftime show either.
I didn't.
Oh man, raising the bar on us.
Give him a sad trombone on that one. He needs that.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know which one it
I
was.
didn't want to
guy.
miss the end of the game, so I was like, "Here's a good time to do dishes." I could care less about the halftime show. I'm more into
I don't really get into
the
it a
game.
whole lot, but
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it some last night. It was kind of the same thing, It's just sort of that.
Yeah.
But apparently Eric and I were the only ones who really saw any of the halftime show at all.
You guys are the only ones that are hip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forgot how that vote went. We did a couple months back.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think we all
remember.
tied.
No.
except for Jason.
No,
What?
there was two that was.
It was 1 to 1 to 1 to
Who
1.
was the hip ones? I forget. I think it was you. Eric was the hip.
Oh, wait,
pastor.
really, Eric?
Oh, it
Thanks,
must have
man.
been a different platform that I was looking at. Because there weren't many votes. There was like, we
I
all
think we
had
only
one
had 2.
vote.
I think one me, one you.
I think you
it's
won
that
the
That's
one
what-
for who's closest to breaking their hip. Was,
I'm not giving you a rim shot on that
You're
one.
not giving a rim shot
No
on that
rim
one.
shots.
I was pretty sure there was a glitch because I voted for myself 5 times and only got 1 vote. So
Yeah,
I
won't let
don't
you
know
do
what was
that.
up with that. So Usher, he did the halftime show and some others too. I'm not all up on all these things. I mean, I know who Usher is because he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Does he
I
still
mean-
do
But I
music?
couldn't tell ya.
Does he still write any music?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
He rode his scooter up there, and then he walked up on his.
Did he really? He had a scooter?
He has a scooter, and he's on a walker. He had to come up there.
Man, he was
I'm
roller
just
skating
teasing.
through it, man.
I'm
What you talking about?
teasing.
He was good.
Wasn't a
Yeah,
roller
the
skate.
roller skate
Those
part was
were-
really
The
cool.
roller skates.
Really?
There were roller skates, a whole team up there, and
Yeah.
he's doing roller skate dancing. It was
That's
was
cool.
impressive.
Were they roller blades or roller
No,
skates?
skates. Like
They're old
quads.
school skates, man.
That's cool.
Already got me
Yeah.
some from Amazon on the way. I'm
that
gonna learn.
covered?
You should,
Is that covered
should
under
preach
insurance?
a sermon in them.
I will say this for those
We'll
of
get
you
the
at
worship
home,
team
and we
to
should
join
videotape this one day. Brooks is actually very good at a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Really
It's been a few
surprisingly
years.
good. It's
I mean,
been a while.
It was
been a few
pre-COVID,
years.
I think. Since we
Have
did
you
it.
was
tried in a while?
pre-COVID. Yes,
Yeah.
it was pre-COVID.
We'll have to go find it. Is it still on the
I
block
was
building out
fairly
there?
new here.
I think it
when
is still
you
out there.
Busted
Okay.
loose on the boat.
Y'all can't do pogo sticks?
No.
It kind of shocked me that nobody else could do the pogo.
Eric left a unicycle in my office, and I
did.
dare not try it.
We appreciate that.
Let's roll these out for VBS one day. We're
Yes.
going to do the pogo stick and the
Stupid pastor tricks.
unicycle. And
Oh, like Dude Perfect, Pastor
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pastor Perfect. Oh, we should start a Pastor Perfect.
Dude
I like
Pastor.
that. Dude Pastor.
Pastor.
because we're not
Pastor
perfect.
dudes.
No, we're far from perfect
We'll spin
pastors.
the wheel, have to do crazy stuff. That could be fun. I'm telling you, that could be really good. So were y'all roller skaters back in the day? Because roller skating used to be the thing. I mean, it was everybody had you had roller skate rinks in your neighborhood.
I
and that
went
kind
to
of
the
stuff.
roller skating rink, but I didn't roller skate.
Yeah.
I just went and walked around because that's where all the girls. As
where
a
I-
middle
that's where I
school,
saw
you
the
went to
girls.
see the
Yeah.
girls. I mean, you went to watch the girls.
That
roller
and
skate.
Four Corners and Limbo.
Dude, I used to roller skate like a champ. I had my own
You-
set.
I
Like,
can
had
see that.
custom
I can
roller
totally
skates.
see
it, yeah.
I did. So it
You had
was
your
in,
own pink skates?
Not even pink, man. They were smooth.
And he put up the cones, and he would go between them.
I did. I did
And-
slaloms. I did. I did like the
I can totally see that.
could-
we had a
too.
blast. So it was in North Myrtle, and it was like a second story. So underneath was an arcade. They had all the cool arcade games, and the skate deck was on top. And my one of my family members bought me my own set of skates. Man, I had a blast. It was
That's
good
so
stuff.
cool. I
Did
can
it have the
see
rubber
that big
stopper on
time.
the front?
Yeah, it did.
Where you'd like come skating up on people like,
It was like the natural level wheels, and it had the big stopper. I didn't use the
Oh,
stopper though. I
man.
did side stops.
Yeah.
But it was fun, man. I loved it.
wow. I would like to see myself try that one day.
We
Like
need
the
to
little
have a
side
day
thing.
where we break out the pogo stick and the skates. And,
Dude, we should go to what is it? Oh, what's the name of the place in town?
oh, is there a skate place?
Star Castle?
Star Castle. There
Yeah,
you go. We
Star
can
Castle.
Have a pastor's throwdown. That'd be awesome.
We should do an on location in Star Castle.
Yeah.
gotta make
Pastor's
sure that's under-
Skate Fest, sponsored by Optum Orthopedic.
It
I
could be
say,
our
is that
first
workers' comp? How
live
does that work?
Proud podcast.
Sponsored.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It could be. We probably would need all the orthopedic.
We
We got a
would.
few in the church. We can kind
I
of.
know.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got a
We
few.
could get we could get Dan and
Doug.
Dr. Wheeler and the whole group in
Yeah.
here. Yeah, Doug.
They could just be on call, waiting on the side because somebody's going down. It doesn't matter.
just lined up outside. All right,
Yeah.
next,
Oh,
and then Dan comes running in. Yeah. Yeah, I was not much of a skater. I mean, I had to stay close to the rail. You know, I wasn't a get out in the middle kind of skater, and I could not go backwards for sure. Could you go backwards?
I could.
Oh, I know you could go. Could you do like somersaults and stuff?
No, I didn't try that.
Yeah. Well, did they ever do the fuzzy, like the big giant furry looking dice? There was some kind of a dice game where they'd throw them out on the rink. And
I don't know if we did that.
What
I
year
forget
was that?
I don't know. I forget what
Yeah.
I forget what the game was.
Back in the late 1950s. Oh,
Germ.
What in the world? They're got a man
Goodness.
down.
Wow.
Man, I'm down.
Brooks just fell.
Ow.
Yeah, there we go. Wow.
Oh man.
Be the highlight of the week right there.
Hold on.
Action shots.
Highlight reels. That's right, man. That was wild.
for those of you listening, a camera went down.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Oh golly. All right, I'm back in my chair now. Sorry. That one coming. So you think about the halftime show. If you could choose your own performer, like if they called you up, if Roger Goodell called you up next week and said, "Hey, we're playing a halftime show for next year's Super Bowl, and we're going to let you pick who are you going to slide into that spot? Who would you choose to be in the halftime show?"
Who's the guy that sings "Never Gonna Give You Up"? Rick.
Oh, Rick Astley.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Just have him up there for that song. Get a bunch of one-hit wonders out there. You know, that'd
Did
be
you-
good, man.
Did you know that you can order the Rick Astley Disney movie bundle, and you get every movie that Disney's ever done except one. One is not in there.
Except for
He's never going to give you up.
well, that's a letdown.
He's never going to give
Yeah,
you
are
up.
you going to?
Yeah, it was
my
kind of a
God.
ridiculous.
So Ricky Astley, I would watch that halftime
Yeah.
show. I would watch it just for the nostalgia piece of
Yeah,
it.
just some people did the like one good song. You
Yeah,
know?
it'd be really quick. They should have all of the one-hit wonders.
The Spin Doctors had two good ones. We have like Spin Doctors out there. And, you know, just a couple good songs. Like,
Yeah,
I like.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys got any thoughts?
What you got, man?
Lawrence Welk and his orchestra.
The bubbles. It's all about the bubbles.
How about it? No, I'm just teasing.
You know, there may be a reason your mom said what she said.
I got
Teasing,
You're
I'm
wanting
teasing.
Lawrence
I don't know why that just. I'm like, how funny would that be?
I got two I would really love to see. I mean, I love classic rock, so I'd love, you know, Zeppelin or Beatles or Stones or even Michael Jackson again. But
I love the Stones.
Yeah.
Fred, Wilma, Barney.
yeah, but I would do.
Yeah.
But I would love to either see Huey Lewis and the News,
Yes, another good choice.
Yeah.
or I would love to see like the mid '90s Hootie and the Blowfish and just do all, you know, everything from Time. You know, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going back.
Two
Yeah,
good
both of those are going back a ways. Eric, who
I'd
you
say
got?
Queen, like the original lineup of Queen.
Queen
Oh,
was one of
like
my
if you could just
favorites.
bring it all back.
Yeah, because like their stage shows are amazing.
Yeah.
So that would be
Except their
fun.
one song would be longer than the halftime.
Don't
What was
say
that one
me.
song?
We can just forego the second half of the game and just finish the concert.
That would be kind of a cool take on it. Half a game and a full concert.
Wouldn't it be
Pretty
great?
cool.
What did you say earlier before we started recording your group, the Gaithers? Did you say?
Yeah.
I said
You
I'd
have the
see Gold,
He said the Gold City.
Gold City.
he wants a Gaither homecoming.
Again, they're
up there.
homecoming. They're all wearing football jerseys.
That would be interesting.
Would be one of their highest viewed
Although
Super
I
Bowls
think it
from the
would be
nursing
cool
home.
if you could roll a legitimate, like, big church choir out there. That's, you know, that could be cool. And just singing the gospel. That'd be awesome. That'd be really
good.
cool. Yeah.
Just get some Kirk Franklin out there then with the
Kirk
big-
Franklin.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was actually thinking like Maverick City
Yeah.
and Elevation together. Maverick
King and
City,
Country, man.
Elevation, King and Country.
King and Country be good.
We need to get that sanctified anyway, so let's do something like that.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty good platform. I
It
hear
would be a
I
great
hear
platform.
I hear a few people watch the Super Bowl around the world. I don't know if that's true, but like half the world maybe. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a break here. I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I've got a promo, and then I'm going to take another deep breath, and then we're going to talk about the message from this past Sunday. So let's take a break right here. So let's talk about some Bible studies. We've got a couple for the guys, one for the ladies. Of course, we have Bible studies every single Sunday, 9 o'clock and 10:30 a.m. We call them grow groups around here. But at certain times through the year, we'll have standalone midweek Bible studies as well. So starting on Tuesday, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, for you guys, it started just this morning, 6:30 a.m. Good thing is, if you missed it, it's going for about 11 weeks. We're going through a book called Not Forsaken by Louis Giglio. And it's just a great time, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. We're going to have some sausage biscuits for breakfast for you guys. Bring your own coffee. And if you wanted something else, then bring it too. And we're going to have a great time. We usually have around 35, 40 guys for this. And it's going to be running all up into the spring. And so we'd love for you guys to join us. If you have to leave early for work, you can't stay to 7:30, perfectly fine. Come join us anyway and have some great fellowship and grow some in your walk with Christ as well. And then the ladies this coming Sunday are going to begin a 4-week Bible study on the book of Esther. Should be really good, but for us guys, we're not invited because it is ladies only. So that's going to be 6 p.m. here at the church. In the fellowship hall is where that's going to be. And so hope for you ladies that you can plan to be a part of that as well. You can find all that info on our website, and you can sign up as well. It's in our newsletter also. And or just give our church office a call. We'll be glad to sign you up as well, 912-897-2142. Did I tell a lie? I hope it's on the website. I just mentioned
so.
it.
We
It
can
was.
fix that proactively.
Yes, we
'Cause
can.
this
Yeah,
is
we'll
Monday
fix that
for
before
us.
this drops.
Yeah,
Like, how many phone numbers do you think you know like
good.
that anymore?
that's a good question. Less
Yeah.
than you used to.
We had this discussion Wednesday with some of our leaders. Like they were
Yeah.
talking about they remember their childhood numbers but can't remember their kids'
I remember the
numbers.
one I grew
Like,
up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any of the kids' numbers. I know Susie's, but I can't tell you the kids' numbers. It's just I just look them up.
828-697-1210.
Yeah, I remember my home number growing up and both my grandparents' numbers.
Yeah.
I still remember those.
Yeah.
I know my old number, 867-5309.
Oh, really? Did Jenny answer?
If you call it, it'd be Jenny. You got it. That's a good little thing to play on somebody on there. Hey, what's your number? You just try to play that off because you can't say 867-5309. It's just
No.
86. Have you ever had somebody? We got to get to the content here in a second. when I worked at Lifeway, sometimes people would come in and when you ask for their phone number to put in the computer, they wouldn't do it with the first three and then the next four. They would do it like two at a time.
Oh.
So it'd be like 89. I can't even do it. Like our church
Message
number
y'all up.
897-2142. I can't even do it. 897-2149.
2, 1, 4.
I can't.
Yeah.
Try it in your head. You can't do it.
912-897-2142.
You stuck them together, man. You got to
stuck
split them up.
together.
Oh, you
finished
can't
with
do
the
that.
four.
Nah.
You can't do that.
I wonder why they would have
Well, I
done
was
it in
starting with the
twos.
area code.
Yeah, not the area code.
Oh.
Because that
Funny.
keeps you on track.
897-212-42.
They do it in twos. That's funny. I wonder
Oh,
why they
yeah, I
would have
messed it up.
chosen to do it in
See what I
twos.
mean? Fun with numbers. So this Sunday we talked about the whole concept of the church, something that we're somewhat familiar with. What about you, Jason? Okay. So we're somewhat familiar with church. We've been in
He's
church
a baby in
for
the faith.
a long time. Gosh. And so, but you could talk about this all the time, right? And there's still more ground to cover because the church is a huge concept. And we talked about it being universal, but yet it's also local. I'll tell you one thing that challenged me. We were at a conference together, except for Adam. Adam wasn't invited this past week. Just kidding. You had other commitments. You weren't able to make it. But the three
Somebody
of us
had to work.
the three of us and Jason went out to a conference across town at Compassion Christian, a ministry leader conference. It was good. It was really, really well done. But one of the speakers made the comment about the local church and how Jesus made the comment in Matthew that the gates of Hades will not overcome it. That Christ said, "I'll build my church." But he made the distinction that the local church is not necessarily exempt from existing here through eternity. I mean, all 7 of the churches in Revelation 2 and 3, I think none of those exist any longer, they say. We know about churches that close their doors, at different times right here in our own city as well. So that was something interesting to me, and I kind of rolled that out on Sunday when I was preaching. But what are some thoughts for you? We covered a lot of territory on Sunday about the concept of the church, not just for information, but because we're all a part of that. So what are some things that you think of when you think about the church? What would you want our church to know when it comes to the concept of the church, for example, or any other random thoughts? This is
Yeah.
Sorry.
This sounds like the first line of a Rick Warren book, but it's not about you. Church isn't about me. It's it's not about you. It's about Jesus, and it's about the Holy Spirit working among His people. And I think so often, I know I have made. I'm not going to point the finger at anybody else, but I know I have made church about me. What I like, what I think it should be, how it should be run, and that's not the way it works. That's why churches die because they become more about us instead of more about Him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we miss the global church aspect of it and the idea that, I hate to say this, but like we're not in a competition with each other. Like churches, we're planted where we're planted for a purpose and for people. And it's not about competition, but a lot of churches, especially Western churches, go that way. Like it's got to be the bigger, the better. And I don't know. There's just, I don't know where the enemy got a hold of that and put that in the church's mind, but it's not, it's not biblical.
What better way to destroy unity than to think that your brothers and sisters are in competition against you?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like we're competing in ministry. I'm like, I'm all for some momentum in ministry, but let's not do it at the cost of the unity,
Yeah.
The best
Exactly.
way to fix that is to pray for other churches, and when you see that they do well and you feel
Celebrate.
yourself getting jealous, celebrate
Yep.
through prayer and
Yep.
even write them a card or contact them and say, "I'm so excited about what you guys are doing."
Yeah. Yeah.
hard.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good thoughts.
The part that really stuck out, and it was kind of at the very end of the service, but I think being reminded that we don't exist in isolation. Because I think for a lot of people, that's one of the holdovers from COVID that we had. And even though people come back to the church building, it's still easy to not be plugged in. I mean, to sit next to people every week in church that you never speak to. I mean, and so I think realizing that we don't exist in isolation, but that we're called to be a family of believers. That's important. And again, I think that's one thing that that is a holdover from COVID, but it was before COVID that believers were in isolation, and we have to watch that with all aspects of our ministry. I mean, you see that happen with grow groups. They become little groups of their own that kind of not forsake,
Silos,
but
they call them silos.
Yeah, silos. Yeah, and that's easy to have happen, but that's not the goal. That's not what we want. That's not what God wants.
That's a great point, because there is a tendency for churches to silo themselves, and that's kind of the buzzword with all that, and not just in groups, but in ministries as well. A lot of churches, they'll have, and that is one of the dangers about having a men's ministry or a ladies ministry or a marriage ministry or any type of breakout ministries, even children, students, worship. I mean, all those have you have to resist the tendency to just circle the wagons and favor yourself above all the others, when in reality, we should be as excited about, the guys should be as excited about ladies ministry or about MOPS ministry, or the children's ministry should be as excited about student ministry, and the list goes on and on and on, right, as even the ones we're responsible for, because that's the concept of the church. It would look so cool, wouldn't it, if 1 Corinthians 12, verse 26 was a reality. If one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. If one member is honored, all the members rejoice with it. I mean, that would be, in perfection, that would be so cool. And we do have a little bit of that here.
Yeah, we do.
Meal trains for people that are going through hard times, and prayer lists and those kind of things. But those are cool. But man, it's just every single church, even the ones that feel like they're just nailing it, have so far to go to be able to embody what the New Testament thinks about. Did I cut you off? Were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, personally, I love the student ministry. I work with the children. Once they start getting an attitude at 5th grade, I love sending them up to Eric. I love it.
And he doesn't warn me about any of them. Like, it's like, here's your next batch. Good luck.
Last year, he inherited about 36th grade girls who really needed to move up.
Oh my goodness!
But I took some of his leaders with me, so it's okay.
Yeah. I'm not jealous. I prayed about it.
Celebrate, Germ. Celebrate. Gosh.
So what do you think, like when you look at the concept of the church, where do a lot of churches miss it? In regards to why we're here in the first place. Why do a lot of churches miss it?
I feel like a lot of
or where? Why or where do we miss it?
I feel like a lot of churches get stuck in the mindset that these are the hours that we're church, and you need to be here in these hours to be church. And the reality is that is not at all what it is. That those hours are for our kind of mutual uplifting, but church is every other hour of every other day. And so I think a lot of times we get stuck in that mindset.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I got one. You have to get cleaned up to come to church.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's where people struggle. You can't be. It's hard to be vulnerable, and it's hard to be inviting if you got to feel like you got to get cleaned up before you come in here.
We had a student baptism recently, and that student someone had told them that exactly. Like, well, now you got to clean your life up. I'm like, nah, Jesus does that. We're good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I'll do my best, but Jesus got it.
Yeah, but you're right. That's pervasive. I mean, that attitude on the outside that says I got to get cleaned up before I can go in there, and on the inside, it's kind of like, well, you got to get cleaned up if you're going to be one of us. I mean, that's horrible. Both of those are so far off base.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we get as a church, we get so focused on our wants, our needs, our desires that we take the focus off of where it needs to be, on Christ and His mission, and we get stuck on our stuff. And we miss
It's
the
too
focus.
cold in here.
Yeah, we miss the focus. I mean, I think that happens a lot, and it's easy to slip into that.
Yeah.
But that's something that we see. I mean, I've seen a lot throughout my years. Is we get so focused, we get so me focused. You might have said that earlier. I think we get so me focused, and we take the focus off of Christ.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, we're blessed here. I mean, we've got a lot of folks that really get it and understand what the church is all about. We've all heard stories of other churches and other church leaders, that are just really beat down and discouraged because there's just no common focus really, between the leaders and where the church is. The church just wants it to be comfortable, and let's just keep it to us and those kind of things. And, just such a kind of a miss there, where the leaders are wanting to go hard for the gospel and the church isn't necessarily. God's blessed us here, through the years, but we all have room to grow. You know, every single one of us, and all these comments are just right on target. You know, it's not about us, and it is. We always have room for one more, and if we waited to get cleaned up before we could be apart, then none of us would be at the table.
Yeah.
You know, it's all by God's grace. But when you think about it, at the end of the day, I mean, the whole concept of the church, isn't it just cool?
Yeah.
When you think about it, that in God's mindset, it was like, you know what? My son is going to get pulled out of the mix, so I'm not physically going to be there, but I'm going to send him my spirit who will be with him always, and I'm going to give him each other to sharpen each other, and I'm going to show myself through them to one another, and they're going to be the agency I'm going to use to send them to the nations. You know, I mean, the whole idea of the church, when it's done well, is just such a cool concept when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and we're blessed to have it and to be able to be a part of it as well. So, good conversation. Good, lots of passages in there we just couldn't even cover on Sunday that deal with the church. But at the end of the day, you know, for us, you know, we ask ourselves, you know, the church's health and effectiveness has a lot to do with where we are as well. You know, because we have a lot to add or to take away. Hey, before we close out, we want to mention one thing related to this podcast. Adam, you've got a little special something there you're holding. Can you hold it up and show us and tell us what it is?
Yeah, so we have some stickers that are now available to support our podcast. These will be out in the lobby on Sundays and Wednesdays. So they're just little vinyl stickers that just are chasing the Rabbit Podcast stickers. So you can show people who you support. I think Brooks already has one on his laptop. Yeah, he's decorated his laptop. But we'd love for you to pick up some of these. Of course, they're free, but just grab these out in the lobby. We've got these available there.
That's cool.
And we've also, I put 20 of them too. I stuck them on the tailgate of Jeremy's truck.
Oh,
so he's got
nice.
20. Yeah, right on the paint. It's awesome.
You know, I looked the other day. I'm like, that wasn't my truck.
That's
Is that Clay's new truck?
sorry. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Hope you have a great week, and you'll tune in next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Chasing the Rabbit podcast from First Baptist Church of the Islands. New episodes appear every Tuesday. Follow, turn on your notifications, and help us out by rating this podcast on your podcast platform. Share it with someone you think may enjoy it. Check out our website if you haven't already, fbcislands.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FBC of the Islands. We'll see you next time.